Zampala, and welcome to another episode of Face to Face. I'm Tenzin Ladin, your host. Today I'm joined by a really amazing and beautiful actor and a social media influencer. She is an active volunteer, a youth leader, and a brand ambassador of many brands in Bhutan while still being in high school. Yes, we bring you all 𝐸𝐴𝐻𝐿 So what's keeping you busy these days?
Well, school, basically. I'm still in high school right now, and school assignments and just being in school really keeps me engaged these days. This is also one of the reasons why I'm taking a break from acting.
So what's the most exciting thing that's happening in your life right now?
Well, nothing much, to be honest. Something exciting is being away from home, I think. It's been like 2 to 3 years since I've been away from home. And being independent and traveling alone, exploring new things, new places, and meeting new people, that's been really exciting for me. And I've also experienced a lot of, exciting things that I'm starting to do alone that I've actually feared before. So that's quite exciting to me.
Okay, so tell us about your first acting experience.
My first acting experience was, I think, when I was 8 years old. It was very unexpected, but I've never ever thought that I would be, in a film or even in a music video, for that matter. But it so happened that I got invited to a movie set. And I just, loved being on set and meeting new people. And that's how I started to act, because the director asked me if I was interested to act as the younger version of a female protagonist. And I was like, yeah, just go for it. It sounds fun, exciting. And my parents and my sister, they were like very, not really, because they were like, are you sure you want to do this? Like, is it going to be, because it's not easy, are you sure you're going to do this? And I was like, yeah, I just want to go for it. And that's how I started it. And ever since, I've just loved acting and being on sets, meeting new people.
So tell us about your last acting experience as well.
My last acting experience was 5 years ago. It was in 𝐸𝐴𝐻𝐿, where I played the lead role for the female protagonist, and that was when I was in 7th. It started during my winter vacation in 7th grade, and then it continued and released when I was in 8th grade. So that was really fun and exciting for me, because after that I've never played in any movies. So 𝐸𝐴𝐻𝐿 was my last acting.
So what was your longest running role in films? Was it 𝐸𝐴𝐻𝐿 or 𝐸𝐴𝐻𝐿?
I think I would say both. Okay. Both 𝐸𝐴𝐻𝐿 and 𝐸𝐴𝐻𝐿. I've had quite a heavy role. So that, eventually means that I have a very long role throughout the movie. Yeah.
So which one did you enjoy the most in these two films?
I would say it has its own fun and excitement to it. 𝐸𝐴𝐻𝐿 being my first lead film, I always enjoyed being, because I was a young girl, I didn't really know what, it would mean to be an actress, or what, the kind of responsibilities and role it would come with it. So I was like, you know what, it's just being on set, it's just listening to what the director has to say and just acting in front of a camera. But 𝐸𝐴𝐻𝐿, it was more like, okay, this is the role that I have to play and display and portray. It's a heavy role, and I have to be, so I was more serious, and I was more aware and cautious about, the consequences that would come, with being an actress, and also about, I have to keep in mind these certain things while I'm acting. I have to be a very responsible person. So I think both of it has its own excitement to it.
So what was your favorite role that you have played as an actress?
I think I don't really have a favorite role, but generally, I would say the more competitive the role is, I would say that would be my favorite. And saying that, I would definitely say it would be 𝐸𝐴𝐻𝐿. Playing the role of 𝐸𝐴𝐻𝐿 was, I had to be very versatile with any direction the director gave me, and it also required traveling to a lot of places during winter. And, a young girl falling in love and chasing, after a boy, then, joining the nun, or a young girl being, in an arranged marriage with a very old man. That was something I didn't expect at all. But, I had to be very versatile in all these aspects in that film, so I think that was my favorite.
How did you felt when you first read the script of 𝐸𝐴𝐻𝐿?
So I was actually, it was quite funny because I was, the director and the producer reached out to me. I think the director reached out to me first, and then he was like, we have
Who's the director?
Apala, also known as Apala, and he's a very famous actor himself, and it was his first debuting as a director for the first time. So he reached out to me and he was like, I'm planning on doing this film, and if you're interested, I would like to, invite you to be my female protagonist. And I was like, just in 7th grade, I was really surprised. I was like, are you sure about that? And he was like, yes, definitely. But then he didn't tell me, the other cast, because I'm not sure if it was confirmed then. But I wasn't really stuck to it. I was like, maybe for a while, maybe not in the long run. Maybe, he's going to change his mind after some time. But he sticks throughout. And, then I was like, okay, I'm going to give it a try. So, yeah, acting that film. So then we went to the script conference after I said, okay, I'm in. I read the script. I talked to him. He was like, these are the cast, and I was really excited. We had Doji, we had 𝐸𝐸 and a lot of other actors, and I was really excited. And we sat down for the script conference, and we read the script, and I stood there thinking, are you sure I have to do all these scenes? Like, do you think I can do it? And then they believed in me more than I believed in myself. So I was like, I'm not sure if I can do that scene. I'm not sure if I can, sing and cry together, because one scene required me to do that. And I was like, I don't think I can do this. Are we going to change some of the scenes while we're shooting? And it's like, probably no. And I was like, okay, I'm going to do this. So it was really surprising. But, being young and, I just wanted to do new things. I was very adventurous, and I still am. So no matter what kind of role it is, the more competitive it is, the more appealing it is to me as an actor.
So in that film, you also have a crying scene, right, where you have to cry. How do you feel? Like, is it easy to cry? Because some actors, while interviewing, they tell me that it's very difficult for them to cry, where they have to use eye drops as well. What about you?
My experience, dating back to when I was 8 and not when I was 9, playing Seryang, we had crying scenes, and I remember I remember the first, one of my first crying scenes. I was there, and I was actually very confident. I was like, okay, I just have to cry. That's the easiest thing, because I was a kid back then. But then I remember actress Shira Plamon, she came, we took a pause, we took a moment to just talk with each other, and she was like, baby, you know that you have to cry in this scene. And I was like, yeah. And she was like, okay, so you really have, she really directed me through it. And for some reason, that moment just really touched my heart. And no matter what kind of scenes it is, if it requires me to cry, it just takes me back to when I was a kid, and thinking about some really emotional moments in my life, just getting into that moment. I think I haven't really had a tough time crying. It usually comes naturally to me. And I never really liked putting those eye drops, because it would really affect my eyes afterwards, and I didn't have a good experience when I was a kid. So I always avoided using those. So it eventually pushed me into that position where I don't have any other options, so I just had to cry. So I just get into the scene, really, really think about, okay, so if so this character's in this situation, and these are the people involved, and this is how she's feeling. Just to really feel those emotions, it just naturally brings tears to my eyes.
So while preparing for the role, what kind of techniques do you use to get into the character?
I don't really have a specific technique or method. Generally, like I've mentioned earlier, when we do script conferences and read the script, I make sure to take that task very seriously. So just really thoroughly read the script, really, really try to understand my character. What's my intention? What are others' intention in the scene? Who are involved in the scene? How is it making that character feel? And I think one misinterpretation that a lot of people make is that, you have to, just to get into the character means you have to put yourself in their shoes. But I think that's really wrong, because, if you were in their shoes, you would react a certain way. It's you. You would react a certain way. You would do something that's very different from what the character might do. So it's really about identifying and really taking time to recognize your character, building that relationship between you and the character, but also knowing how to draw that line between the two and not, merging it. So for me, it's really understanding the character, and just really trying to put, make that scenario real in my head. So that's how I really try to get into the character.
So tell us about an area where you think you need to improve as an actor.
Well, I would say a lot. For me, I usually recognize or identify my weaknesses, strengths, and areas of improvement after my experience. So while acting, I make sure to like, oh, if this is what I'm doing wrong, I make sure I correct it right away and then not make the mistake again. So only after I have that experience or while I'm in that process and I'm experiencing that moment, I try to correct my mistakes or I try to improve there and then. So because I have very few experiences now, I'm not really sure if I can identify specifically where and what to improve. But I have improved in a lot of areas after each experience I've had in acting in a movie.
So tell us about a special recognition or award that you have received.
In acting.
Yeah.
I think that is winning 2 National Film Awards, one for 𝐤𝐤, which was very unexpected. It was, I had a tough competition with a lot of adult actresses as well, and it was my first time as an actress, and I didn't even know that I would be nominated in the newcomer, Best Newcomer Female list, but I won that award in that nomination. That felt really fulfilling, even though, I didn't really realize a lot of things then. It was really exciting to win that award, and that just motivated me a lot, and it made me, follow my passion in acting. And the second one is winning Best Child Artist for 𝐚𝐜𝐭𝐸𝐤𝐿. Well, the 2 roles kind of reversed, but
Congratulations for getting the national award. It's very, very late, but better say now than never.
Yeah.
So congratulations.
Thank you so much.
And it's very late. And can you tell us about what you want to be now that you are doing a lot of things? You have a lot in your plate, right? You're a brand ambassador, an actor. You're also studying. So do you still want to continue being an actor, or you have another thing that you want to do?
Well, for me, one thing I really believe in is, that I should really keep my options broad and open. So I, like I've mentioned, I'm a very adventurous person. I love experiencing new things. And a lot of things that I do it out of passion, and it's because I genuinely enjoy doing these things. Never look at it as a work or as a task, as a heavy responsibility or as a burden. For me, it's when you really enjoy what you do and you're passionate about what you're doing, you don't really look at it as a work. It's just a part of your life. And whenever I have the time to do so, I'm just everywhere doing everything at a time. But it's also something that really fulfills my heart. So there's a lot of juggle at the moment, and it also means, not being available at times when I'm really needed the most. And I've worked with a lot of organizations, I've worked with a lot of people, but they've really been supportive and they've really been considerate of the position that I'm in as, as a student and as an actress as well as an ambassador. So I'm really thankful to every one of them who really understands, the kind of position that I'm in and gives me the space and time that I need. But they're still very welcome whenever I'm available. They always welcome me with open arms. So right now I'm just keeping my options as wide and open as possible. But so far I've always brought acting alongside because it's my passion, and I will continue to do so. So I don't think I'll ever give up on that. But it's also not going to be only one area that I'm going to focus on.
So like you mentioned earlier that you were taking a break from acting and you want to focus on your studies for now, but forget about acting for now. You are studying as well as you have so many things in your plate. So how do you manage time?
That's a tricky question because I don't really know how I manage time, but I always make sure that when I'm doing one task, I'm all in for that. So it's like it's deep work, I focus on that. I'm really focused on that for that time, and when it's done, then I move on to the other. So there are times where it clashes, so during that time I always make sure it's held whoever that I'm working with, that I'm in a really tight position right now, and there are times where I have to prioritize. And like I've mentioned, they've always been supportive, and it's never been very difficult for me. But because I've started working as an actress at a very young age, and I've had to juggle school, work, and everything at a time, it's not really a challenge to me. And I think it's all thanks to the experiences I have before. It's I think I just do it while I have the time to do so. Just go with the flow.
That's really amazing. Like, I'm literally a fan of you,
Thank
and
you so
very
much.
proud of you as well. I've been watching your first film, no, Syrian. I've been watching your film, and you're doing a great job. Like I've been saying, what you are doing as of now on social media, and very
Thank you
proud
so
of you.
much. Thank you so
So
much.
now that we came to an end of our conversation, do you have any message you want to pass on to viewers who are watching us right now?
As a young person myself, I might not have the best of the best advice, or I might not have enough experience to speak from. But as far as just from the little experiences I have so far, I think one thing I would want to tell young viewers, especially, is that don't be afraid to be yourself. I think each and every one of us, we are capable of doing something. We are unique in our own ways, and I think comparing yourself to others, we should never do that. I think we should focus on ourselves. Compare yourself to yourself, who you were yesterday to who you are today. Compete with yourself, not with others. And once you start doing that, and you start prioritizing what's important for you, and you start maintaining a very healthy circle, I think we should look more inward, and be very smart with our choices. And the more inward we look and focus on ourselves, everything just falls into place. Your circle becomes very healthy, and eventually you start enjoying, doing things that you are most passionate about. And just, do what you want to do. It's a 21st century world. Don't be afraid of anything. If you have a passion, just be passionate about it. Go for it, chase your dreams, and make that magic happen in your life. Don't wait for the magic to happen, make that magic happen. So, best wishes to everyone, and just be yourself.
So thank you so much for your time today. Thank you for coming to the show. That was really great having you here.
It's my pleasure. Thank you to Bhutan today for having me here. Well, we've had this, we wanted to do the interview a long time before, but still, thank you for waiting for me. And as Our Majesty always emphasizes on, as young people, work hard and be globally competent, but also very locally rooted. And follow Bhutan today, and keep yourself tuned, watch Face to Face, and if you have any questions, drop it in the comments. We'll try to answer them. Thank you.
Thank you for coming.
Thank you so much.
With this, we came to an end of this episode of Face to Face. Please don't forget to like, share, and follow our page. Stay healthy, and see you all again.